Nithyananda, everybody. Once again, I am here to share on Facebook Live from the book Bhagavad Gita Demystifyed by His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam. So this is going to be part 3 of the question that I had started to visit on page 363 of this book. It's actually volume 1. Let me clarify one more thing. So it's volume 1 of Bhagavad Gita Demystified by Swamiji, by His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam. So a couple of days ago, I flipped open to this page and page 363, Beauty of Purposelessness. And it was actually turned out to be quite an interesting question, and something that I felt would really be of use for people that are watching, for people's lives as day-to-day lives. And many times I have heard this question asked to me, so I'll repeat the question. So this particular question I've heard a few people ask me, and it's good to have flipped over to this page and to hear Swamiji himself. What's Bhagavan himself saying? And it's got so many layers that I decided, okay, I'm going to make more than one video sharing of this question and answer. One question and one answer from Swamiji. It's quite a lengthy answer, and it's got so many layers to it that it's well worth visiting a few times. So this is part 3. And the question, I'll repeat again for those of you who are watching today for the first time. The question is, Swamiji, when a relationship is not working out, when should we persevere? And when should we abandon it and get on with our lives? So 2 days ago, part 1, if you like, I had read out the entire question and answer as well. And yesterday I elaborated up to the point of if there is conflict, don't sweep it under the carpet out of fear that it will destroy the relationship. So I'm sure many of you can relate to this, that we don't want to rock the boat. So we start walking on eggshells around a person. These kind of sayings I'm sure you've come across, or you've felt it as well. You felt like, I don't want to rock the boat. If I say something now, it's going to turn into a fight and I may lose this relationship, or I may permanently damage the relationship. So in the fear of losing something permanently, we tend not to we tend to sweep things under the carpet, and then it becomes like a suppression that in ultimately then a volcano just erupts, and what happens is actually suppressing it is likely to damage the relationship more than when something comes up, being able to share. And really with friends, family, in relationships, even with ourselves, we should be able to share openly if something has come up, right? Otherwise, then what is the point? If we do not have the emotional, mental intimacy, then what is the point of having a shallow, on the surface relationship at all with people, with things, with ourselves, right? So what Bhagavan is saying, that if there is conflict, don't sweep it under the carpet out of fear that it will destroy the relationship. On the contrary, ignoring it can do just that. Okay, so ignoring any issues that are coming up, with maturity, one ought to be able to, not about like putting the other person down or not thinking through what one wants to say, but really sitting down and with maturity sharing whatever is coming up, and be able to listen to each other, give each other feedback rather than thinking it's criticism, is likely to be healthier to attend to it on a regular basis than shove it under the carpet. And sometimes there's a big elephant in the room that people know there's an elephant in the room, not a real one, but you know what I mean. And then you're like, okay, there's a problem, but I'm not able to say anything. You're not able to either say out loudly or keep it quiet as well. So these kind of situations happen in general relationships, whether a father, mother, husband, wife, two friends, any type of relationship this comes up. But specifically so in a relationship, perhaps where it's a marriage, or a boyfriend, girlfriend, boyfriend relationship, whatever it is, ignoring the conflicts is going to cause bigger problems than being able to share. So he says, Swamiji says, allow the conflict, examine it, see what you can learn from it. Is it stemming from something in yourself that you are secretly unwilling to acknowledge? Many times people have pointed out things to me, and it's been difficult to digest. They may say something that I may perceive as, oh, that's just terrible. If I'm that type of person, then that's just terrible. It may be perception from that person. It may be the truth. It doesn't matter what it is at the time that it is being delivered. It is well worth giving it listening without becoming defensive, and just looking in to see, well, is there something in me that I'm unwilling to acknowledge, and is it worth just taking a little time out and checking. Of course, if you are aware of the process of unclutching and completion that Bhagavan has taught, this would be a lot more easier. But if you're somebody that's completely new to this, then this approach may work for you in terms of see what you can learn from it, see what you can learn from what is being shared, see what's coming up from the conflict you're feeling yourself. Is it stemming from something in yourself that you are secretly unwilling to acknowledge? Because we'd like to project to the world that we're perfect. There's nothing wrong with us. Of course, ultimately, we are the ultimate source, so there isn't anything wrong with us. Everything is love, everything is auspicious. However, in the space of defensiveness, we want to show a particular image about ourselves, and maybe this revelation about ourselves from the other person is shaking us up a bit, and we don't want to see it completely. So it's well worth looking at it. So it is only in an intimate relationship, Bhagavan is saying, it is only in an intimate relationship that you discover yourself. Your partner is like a mirror reflecting your true nature. After all, who else dares point out your worst flaws with so much clarity? So examine the nature. So Swamiji is saying, so examine the nature of your conflict. Also remember, in every relationship, there is a time to stay together and a time to move on. What kind of love do you share? Are you really, truly, surely in love? Do you relate deeply with each other, being to being? Don't look for reasons and arguments. Don't intellectualize the process. Simply turn the question inwards with complete honesty and trust. The answer will arise on its own. If your answer is yes, then understand that the issues of conflict are mere ripples on the surface of your relationship. Okay? So, really, what I'm getting from what Bhagavan is sharing here is how deep really is what you call love. Is it on a superficial surface level, or is it something that one is willing to work through? No matter where the person opposite us is, in a relationship, where they're at, how deeply do we want to how deeply do we want to explore what we call as love? So it's easy to give up on somebody, and it's easy to say, okay, I don't get on with you, so let's move on. It's easier to do that sometimes than to stay and work through whatever conflicts are coming up. So up to now, from what Bhagavan has shared, what I would say is my own take on it would be, if one is having conflict, first check it out to see where is it coming from. Is it something that's, of course, there's something inside of ourselves. See it as an opportunity to see that, okay, this person is a reflection of me, so they're reflecting something back to me. So let me work on that. And so far, I am seeing that the steps are more to resolve the situation than to walk away. So this is what I'm getting so far from Bhagavan's sharing part 3. I'll continue to add on, and of course, because I've been reading reading partially and sharing my comments on it. So whatever I read that Swamiji has given as an answer, if you feel that's something that you can add to my understanding, please feel free to add in the comments box. If you have questions as well, please share. And I think I'm going to be probably doing another couple of videos on this particular answer, because I think it's so important, where a lot of people face this dilemma. Should I stay in a relationship or should I go? When is a good time to stay? When is it time to go? And it'll be good when the decision is made from a space of completion. Whatever it is, the decision is made from the right knowledge, the right information, so that you can take the right steps as a future thing. Like sometimes we want an immediate answer, an immediate solution, which may work short term, but long term it may not really be the answer. So because I have heard Swamiji say, Bhagavan say so many times that completion leads to completion and incompletion leads to incompletion. So making a decision from a conflict space would be incompletion leading to incompletion. So there cannot be any fulfillment, regardless of whether you have temporary relief from the relationship. But if you're complete and you still leave, then you can have, goodness for yourself and for the person that is also involved in the relationship. So this is what I have to share today. And I have a YouTube video as well, which I've been, I have a YouTube video channel account. And I have been sharing a link to that. So if you want to follow these videos there, you can as well. And, feel free to share it with people who you think will get a lot of benefit. And anything you can add, anything you feel that will, make me add more value in the videos, then please share those comments as well. But yes, thank you so much for listening to me. Thank you so much for stopping by. So I can see Malti, Christina, Meeta, Karuna, Jody, Jeanette, Ram, Parasuram, Premalata, Indrajit. Yes, all of you, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for encouraging me to keep doing these videos. When you come on live, I feel encouraged as well. So Gurupriya, yes, Nithyanandam, Shivananda, Nithyanandam. Lovely to see you all, and it's a big hi to you all. And see you again tomorrow. Nithyanandam, take care.